You've probably seen the images. Thousands of migrants recently crossing the U.S.-Mexico border, many of them fleeing violent and dangerous situations in their home countries. What you might not know is that Border Patrol does allow some of them to stay temporarily in the U.S., and hundreds have been brought here to the Galilee Center in Mecca. After an often perilous journey, crossing thousands of miles and multiple countries, some families seeking asylum in the United States brought here. The Galilee Center in Mecca, welcoming families that have been granted temporary asylum-seeking status. They've had to provide proof that their lives are in danger back home.
Many of them, they have not eaten for days. They come with whatever clothing they are wearing, and that's their only possessions.
I came from Venezuela. I'm looking for what all immigrants come looking for, which is stability for myself and for my family.
26-year-old Marta Celedon tells me she recently graduated as an attorney in Venezuela. But with political violence and instability reaching explosive levels in recent months, she fled.
I want to reach my goals and have my family be well.
She says her mother and sister also escaped. She's hoping they all reunite with family in Orlando, Florida. They'll stay there until a judge formally hears their case and decides whether they can stay in the U.S.
Life is really hard in Cuba.
For Hector Lamoureux, his ultimate destination is Miami. His goal?
To work really hard to bring my family to take my family out of Cuba.
His mother, wife, and 3 children still in Cuba. He says after his difficult 14-month journey, the Galilee Center was the first place to welcome him, offering refuge and kindness.
It's been the best thing that has happened to me since I started my journey.
Each asylum seeker here is offered a place to sleep, a hot shower, 3 meals per day. The center helps connect them with family or sponsors they can stay with while they wait for their court date that will decide their fate. Fernando Ruiz and his family trying to reach relatives in New York, the 4 of them traveling from Ecuador.
It became very dangerous to be over there.
Ruiz says his family lived close to a prison. When riots broke out in February, inmates escaped.
A lot of prisoners escaped and arrived at our neighborhood, and they started stealing the kids, trafficking the kids.
He says his family's journey to the U.S. took them 20 days. They were held at a Border Patrol station for 3.
They put us into those rooms and we had to sleep on the floor with those blankets made out of aluminum.
That was the saddest, hardest part.
Their family, just one example of the more than 1,000 asylum seekers that Riverside County has helped so far this year. The county spent nearly $250,000 helping just last month alone. The pandemic is partly blamed for ballooning the costs as compared to previous years, but also
now with the new Biden administration and the change in policy, the message travels fast.
The Biden administration recently got rid of a policy enacted under former President Trump, which required asylum seekers to wait in Mexico or other countries for their court dates.
More and more people are thinking right now is the time.
I want safety for my children, for my family to be stable. I'm hoping for a better future for them, and I know we're going to reach it here, with the help of God.
The Galilee Center expects the number of asylum seekers to rise in the coming months. Meanwhile, the federal government has promised to help cover the cost here in Riverside County. Reporting in Mecca, Madison Weil, News Channel 3.